top stories of the week, the main headlines of today, yet just in time for the weekly on RT International. And people are back on the streets of Turkey, but this time celebrating the failure of Friday's attempted military coup. At least 265 people were killed in street clashes and shootings between loyalists and the opposition. Almost 2,000 more were injured before pro-government forces restored order. It's a recap of the night's bloody events.
Çekiyorum.
Bu arada patlama yaşandı burada.
İçinde malum yapıya
tank atışı yapıldı. Orada bekleyen toplumsal müdahale aracına TOMA'ya.
Istanbul for us now, with more on the aftermath of the coup attempt in Turkey.
Well, already during this attempted coup, we heard the Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan promising a harsh response to those involved in plotting this coup. We've seen that unfold very quickly in the aftermath of that coup essentially failing. We've seen 2,839 soldiers arrested, from low-ranking soldiers to senior officers, including, the government says, those who were forming the backbone of this rebellion. We've seen 2,700 judges dismissed. Many people asking what judges have to do with this attempted coup. The government says that they're somehow linked to the plotters. Nevertheless, before this attempted coup took place, we already saw the AKP essentially purging the judiciary of hundreds of prosecutors, critics of the government saying that this was part of the government drive to rig the judiciary so that it's only filled with prosecutors who can do the government's bidding. They're saying this is just an opportunity for them to step that up. We've seen in other drastic measures the Turkish Prime Minister say that he wants to change the constitution so that the coup plotters can be executed. Now, an interesting detail to this attempted coup is that we've seen reports that many of the soldiers have said that, in fact, they didn't know that they were taking part in a coup attempt, that they were simply told that they were taking part in military exercises. And since that coup failed, we've seen pictures circulating online of pro-government supporters attacking soldiers that were involved in these events that have horrified many. Well, Turkey is a very polarized country, and we're kind of seeing that that division grow even more. Yesterday, last night, when we arrived here, quite late at night, there were still thousands of people out in the streets from Atatürk Airport all the way to the heart of the city where we are now, that had responded to the government's call to come out and to continue demonstrating. So lots of government supporters still in the streets. On the other hand, in other neighborhoods, there were many people out in the streets in opposition to the government. In the neighborhood of Gazi in Istanbul, which is a predominantly Kurdish and Alevi neighborhood, people came out to protest. There were reports that pro-government supporters, in fact, headed down to that neighborhood and began attacking residents and protesters there. So what we're seeing in the wake of this is, in fact, an emboldened support base of the Prime Minister, who if those reports about the attacks in Gazi last night are true, show that this is an opportunity for them to show their muscle. We're also seeing that from the government with this crackdown on the judiciary and the army, that what many people are saying is that this coup attempt is essentially just going to be used by the government and its supporters to show their muscle for the government to further its crackdown on the opposition. Of course, prior to these events, the Turkish government was being widely condemned for its crackdown on freedoms, on journalists. Many people fearing that this is only going to be advanced now in the wake of this coup attempt.
The coup attempt has also cast a deep shadow over Turkey's relations with America. President Erdogan has accused the US of shielding Islamic cleric Mohammed Fethullah Gulen, who Erdogan thinks is behind the attempted overthrow. Gulen, who is currently living in self-imposed exile in America, denies any involvement. He is the leader of the Hizmet movement, uniting Turks who support Gulen's ideas on Islam and democracy, while Turkey has repeatedly branded its group a terrorist organization. And he's become a sticking point as two traditional allies square up over his fate.
Dear President Obama, I told you this before. Either arrest Fethullah Gulen or return him to Turkey. If we're strategic partners or model partners, do what is necessary.
The nation supporting this person is not a friend of Turkey. It is an open enemy of Turkey.
We invite the government of Turkey, as we always do, to present us with any legitimate evidence that withstands scrutiny.
A political analyst Daniel Patrick Welch believes allegations that Gulen could be behind the coup might be credible.
They'll take a while to filter out the truth, but the fingerprints make sense. You know, this is shortly after the apology about the shoot down of the Russian plane, shortly after the proposal to mend fences with Assad. This is not just random and coincidental. These kind of facts militate toward the very real possibility that he's right and that it was Gulen behind it. And if Gulen is behind it, then you can bet that the U.S. either green-lighted it or knew about it and let it go ahead anyway. If there's a coup being plotted against a major ally in a major war theater, they know everything that's going into that theater. There is absolutely zero chance in my mind that they could have just missed it from an intelligence point of view.
But the Islamic cleric Gulen is now not the only divisive issue for the NATO allies. America currently finds itself sealed off from its nuclear warheads located at Turkey's Incirlik air base. That's after Ankara blocked all movement in and out of the facility, halting US-led airstrikes on Syria from the strategic base. Power was also cut. It's now understood that access has been restored. However, the incident has sparked deep concerns in Washington. Nevertheless, Sevim Dagdelen, a German MP from the Left Party, believes that the coup attempt won't hamper Turkey's relationship with America.
Well, I'm afraid that I guess that there will be no major changes between the NATO and Turkey, because the NATO geopolitical interests are once more heavy than any human rights issue or instability in Turkey. The NATO and especially the USA need Turkey for its role for the regime change policies in the Middle East, and therefore I think there will be no major changes between the relationships between Turkey and the NATO. I cannot see that there will be major change in the European Union relationship to Turkey as well as the NATO. It's both the same. They need Turkey for their regime change policies in the Middle East. They need them to handle the refugee crisis issue. Therefore, there will be no changes.